Alright, so let's look at a question from Trig. This was 2024 paper 2, mathematics. So we'll see whether we need to use sine rule or cosine rule for this question. Okay, so let's see how we can get easily these free 8 marks in this paper. So yeah, we are taught to find the length of QR, that side, and then we also asked to find the area of the triangle and then also the shortest distance. Okay, so how do you go about this? So I told you to say for the cosine rule, the cosine rule is basically very simple. Only use it when you've got a known angle and then the sides adjacent to that angle should all be known. That's when you use a cosine rule. If this case can't be found, just know that it's a sine rule. Okay, so in this case we get it's a sine rule. Now again, for a sine rule, the idea is for a sine rule what you need is you need a side and its opposite angle. Okay, now in this case, since we only have a single side, we can actually see that it's required for us to find this other missing missing angle. Okay, so you've got the angles inside for the other two sides. It's easier for you to find the missing one, right? Okay, so our sine rule is going to be the sine of the angle, which is r, over its opposite side, which is 16.1. Okay, and then this is equal to sine of another angle, so maybe 42. Now in this case, what is our side of interest? They want us to find QR. This is this side. Now that side is opposite what angle? 42. So we'll pick 42 over the side we're trying to find is what? Let's call it x. Okay, but then before we can find x, we need to find this angle r. Okay, now we know the other two sides. How do we find r? So r is going to be found as the difference, the sum of all angles there is 180 in a triangle. Now so we need to subtract the addition of the other two, 53 and 42 degrees. Okay, so what do you get when you subtract? So 42 plus 53, that's 97, right? So that's 97. Now 180 minus 97, that's giving me 85. Is it? Let me do my calculations. So 53 plus 42 is 95 actually. Why did I say 97? So 95, and then 180 minus 95 is 85. Okay, so we have 85 85 degrees. So where there's r, we can confidently put 85 degrees, and then we can now see that the value of x will be easy for us to find, right? X is going to be this multiplied by that, which is going to be 16.1 multiplied by sine 42 degrees. Okay, now x is multiplied with that, so that's going to be sine 85x. Now we can divide both sides by sine 85 degrees. So that we only remain with x on the left. So 16.1 multiplied by sine 42. Okay, so sine 42 is 0.6691 divided by sine 85, which is 0.9962. Now you can divide 0.6691 divided by 0.9962. Okay, so 0.6691 divided by 0.9962, and then multiply by 16.1. Okay, so I'm getting 10.8. So our value of x is 10.8. The units are meters there. Okay, so the value itself was 10.8136, but I'm just going for three significant figures, so 10.8. So this is how you use the sine rule to answer the first part of the question. Okay, yeah. So the second part of the question is we need to find the area of the triangle. So for the area, I already explained to you in the video. I was explaining the sine rule. Okay, so we find the area when you've got an angle. Okay, just in that case for the cosine, so an angle and then with its two sides. So in this case, that angle is 53. 53 has got the adjacent sides known, 16.1 and 10.8. So the area can be found using the 3. So our area for this triangle is going to be half multiplied by 16.1 multiplied by 10.8 and then sine of the angle in between them, which is 53. You can actually apply that. If we had 42 degrees there with this known side, we could have used that side and this side, again sine of the angle 42 to help us find the area. Okay, so this is half times 16, half multiplied by 16.1 is 8.5, right? Is it 8.5? No, 8.05. 8.05 multiplied by 10.8 sine 53 is 0.7986. Now let's do a final calculation. 8.05 multiplied by 10.8 times 0.7986. So I'm getting 69.5. Area is meters squared. Trigonometry is very simple, very basic, right? It just requires a lot of practice. Look at a lot of questions on the same and you'll be easy to go. Then finally, there is need for us to handle the question, which is finding the short distance from R. Okay, where is our R? R is actually this part here. So shortest distance from R to PQ. Okay, so the way you can think of this is think of the formula for the area half BH. So the line that comes from R should actually be perpendicular. Okay, it should be perpendicular to PQ. Okay, and so the area should be the same. The area that we had calculated was what? 69.5. Okay, half. Now the breadth is basically the base, which we know PQ shouldn't change, 16.1, and then what we're trying to find is the distance, which is going to be the height from R to PQ. So let's call it H. And then yeah, at this point it's easy for you to just find it. How do you go about it? So to make H a subject, of course 69.5 is equal to, that's going to be 8.05 H, divide both sides by 8.05, divided by 8.05. So let me grab my calculator. So 69.5 divided by 8.05. So what I'm getting is 8.63. So our value of height is 8.63354. Okay, so let's go for three significant figures, or in this case let's go for a decimal place, one decimal place, which is going to be 8.6. The units are meters. Okay, so that's how you find the altitude. Okay, simple and straightforward. So that's it to this question under trig. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give us a comment if you did.